Hey everyone, Andrew here from A Tale of Two Hygienists podcast. Yes, you are on the right feed, but no, this is not a normal show. I wanted to let you know right now that what you are about to hear is not suitable for work. It is likely also not appropriate for children. If you are sensitive to racy topics, go ahead and hit that delete button right now. You might not like this episode. But now that you've been warned, please welcome to a special RDH Rant Takeover episode with Heather, Anna, and Liz.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another RDH Rant Takeover of A Tale of Two Hygienists. I am Liz, and joining me, I have my co-hosts, Heather.
Hi.
And Anna.
Hey, everyone.
So, it's October, and we are now officially in spooky season.
Ooh.
I know. Ooh. Do you guys do anything in your offices for spooky season, for Halloween?
We just decorate.
Do you do a pumpkin contest or anything?
No, we don't do that. I would love to do that, though. That's like, I see everyone's pumpkins, and I'm always like, oh my god, it looks so much fun. But
we don't do our own, but like offices that we refer to will have like contests, and we enter those. And we win thanks to everyone at RDH Rant. Yay for your votes. And
yeah, I remember that. That was it. Was it an RV pumpkin? Oh, no,
yeah, we did an RV. Yes. Yeah, good memory.
Awesome.
Oh,
and we usually, which I'm not big into, we dress up. Everyone in the office usually pick a theme. I'm not big on that because I feel really stupid dressed up and going out to the waiting room like, hi, Mr. Smith. You ready for your professional cleaning today?
Tinkerbell's going to serve you today.
I know. Or I think we were like 101
like
Dalmatians. Yeah. Yeah. No slutty cats at my office.
We're doing, at the office I am at currently, we are doing it. We were going to do an 80s theme, but we're keeping it simple. And I think the doctor is just dressing up as Pac-Man, like a Pac-Man t-shirt. And then we're doing
that's
like
awesome.
all the, we're doing
that's
all the
cute.
different colored ghosts.
That's cool.
So,
that's easy.
yeah.
Simple
That's
enough.
easy.
It's a comfortable costume. And
Yeah, and I don't feel like if I wear a tutu, I feel like, it'd be like all of people's faces and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
So
Germ City.
And I have to think of a pumpkin idea, so, because this is the first time that I'm doing a pumpkin at an office. So.
I don't know if it was on Rant or somewhere else. I saw a pumpkin and they turned it into the Venus flytrap.
oh yeah, I saw that one. That one was really
It was really cool. And it was like, I've never seen the movie, so sorry, shoot me, but
Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors. Apparently it was like a dental office.
Well, there's like an iconic dental scene in that.
Yeah, that's what I heard. And it was like, has like the feed me or whatever.
Yeah.
It was it was a really cute pumpkin. It was like the pumpkin was the bottom, and then they had the Venus flytrap thing
Coming out of it?
Yeah.
That's a good idea. All right, well, we thought that we would seize the season and use this episode to tell some ghost stories. Over the years in RDH Rant, we've had a few posts about haunted dental offices, creepy patients, and members who have shared... Not creepy patients like that. But like spooky, paranormal, like medium psychic patient types. We do have our fair share.
We have creeps too, but it's okay.
Anyway, and members who have shared non-dental related spooky things that have happened to them. So if I have to read these posts and have them keep me up at night, then you guys have to hear them as well and have them keep you up at night too.
I did read through some of them.
I would like to preface that we're taping this episode. I'm in Connecticut. I'm not in New York, and I'm alone in a hotel room. So,
ooh, if you see twins rolling down the
freak me out. So I may be calling you guys at like 3 a.m. being like, oh my fucking god.
So when I was going through these and compiling notes and stuff tonight, it dawned on me that I am cleaning the office tomorrow, and it's in a 100-year-old house, and no one's going to be there. So I'm going to be alone in this old house, and it's got a spooky basement, which I'm like, oh, I'm not scared of the basement, but if I'm there all alone, maybe I'm a little bit scared of the basement.
I clean my office one day a week, and I listen to like Dateline murder mystery podcast the whole time I'm cleaning.
What the hell?
That would be me. I love that stuff.
But I don't get freaked out at all. Now that it's winter time and it'll be darker earlier, I may change up my podcast.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah, listen. So, okay, Anna, I know you're a skeptic when it comes to ghost stories and other
Yes.
paranormal things, right?
Yeah. Yes, I'm a cynical person.
Yeah.
I'm always like, that ain't true, and but
And yet,
I've had like some ghostly things happen to me. I'm just always like, oh, there's a logical explanation.
Heather, what about you? Are you a skeptic? Do you believe? Like, what's your take?
I don't know. I'm not like a skeptic, but I've never had anything like weird happen to me. I kind of wish it would, but
For what you invited.
but I mean, I don't know. I'm not like I don't know. Be kind of cool if there were ghosts, I guess.
Yeah. All right. Well, okay. So we had so much participation when we were asking for content, and there is no way we are going to even get probably through a third of what you guys gave to us. There were so many stories, so many creepy things, and we're going to go ahead and just start off with a bang. We're going to start with Franklin.
Oh, God.
Okay.
Oh, I read that.
Okay, ready, buckle in, because this is a doozy. We're just going to jump right into it. All right, the ranter said, years ago, I was subbing at an office that had just opened, and it was very slow, and we had a walk-in patient. She had an adult daughter who was special needs and had accidentally knocked the patient down, and the patient broke a tooth on the concrete. She didn't have a patient at the time, so the hygienist took her back and said that, I'll be starting by getting an x-ray of the broken tooth. And the patient said, I wouldn't do that. Franklin isn't going to like that. And the hygienist said, who is Franklin? And she told me it was a shadow person who has been following her for years. So the hygienist just brushed her off and said that she would need to take an x-ray or two for proper diagnosis. And she said, I'm telling you, he's going to break the equipment you're using and you're going to make him mad. I told her, okay, well, we'll just cross that bridge when we get there, I guess. And she shrugged and said, okay, don't say I didn't warn you. So the hygienist took the x-ray and it showed up on the screen like a television screen with no service. So I'm imagining like Carol Ann from Poltergeist.
Yes.
Yeah.
Static.
Yeah. I told her I'd try again the second time, and I tried, and the same thing happened. By this time, the dental assistant stepped in to help me with the equipment. The patient blamed it on Franklin, and the staff and I just brushed it off. We grabbed the second sensor that the office had, and the same thing happened. We took both sensors into another operatory, tried to take an x-ray on each, and both sensors were broken. Both of us suddenly got very chilled and scared, and this chilly feeling came over us. We went to the dentist and explained the situation, and he brushed it off too and said he would examine her and see what he could do. The dentist walked in the room and introduced himself, and I noticed he seemed hesitant. He looked at the tooth and later said he became very, very ill. He told the patient that because of the damage, he would need to refer her to another dentist and stepped out. I asked him where he wanted to refer her and for what, and he said, I don't care, just get her out of here. So we stepped in to tell her that we didn't feel comfortable with the amount of breakage on the tooth, and we would talk to her up front with the office manager to see where we could go. When the patient was walking down the hall, everything she walked past was falling off the walls. The dental assistant...
I don't believe it.
The dental assistant and I both had this heavy feeling of extreme fear come over us, and we were literally rushing to get down the hall. She said, see, I told you ladies, you upset Franklin. I don't even remember what the conversation that happened up front because I walked back to my room with the assistant and we were freaking out, but when the lady left, the exit sign over the door exploded over her head. And we were also freaked out for the rest of the day, but after she left, everything seemed to return back to normal, minus the fact that we had no working x-rays. And the practice ended up selling shortly after I left. About a year later, it closed its door with no warning. And I wondered if it was Franklin coming back for revenge. And she said, no.
She was temping there, right?
No.
This was a temp, like she was temping at this office?
Oh, yeah, she was.
Okay. I would have been like, I'm out. can't continue the day. I'm leaving, and we're done.
I need,
I would have finished the day.
notarized, signed consents from the dentist, the assistant, the front desk, Franklin, the old lady's daughter, to tell me that this shit was true. Because you may have got me with she was saying that Franklin's gonna be mad. Yeah, we've all had those batshit crazy people. But for stuff to be flying off the walls and the exit sign to explode, that I don't believe. For 1 minute.
She said at the very end, she said, no, this is not a fabricated story, and I've never felt more physically scared in my life than I did that day. And then she said she went to her car and she called her friend, and like she was crying because she was afraid like Franklin was in the backseat and was going to like follow her home.
Yeah, think no.
Okay, so say this is true. I mean, if this was true, just saying, if it was true, I doubt it. Yeah, I would be scared out of my ever-living mind. Like, I would been gone out of there. See you later.
That's what I'm saying.
But I believe about half of that story. It does make for a great...
Some skepticism.
Yeah. It does make for a great, like, story, and you had me on the edge of my seat, and it did give me chills. But I don't know. I guess that's where my skepticism does come in, because I'm like, that'd have to happen to me for me to believe it. I'd have to see it with my own eyes.
Right. And she never said if she was a skeptic before this, if, she believed in this stuff or not, but...
Yeah, like, what the hell's everybody doing? Shit's flying off the walls. Like, you all just sitting there watching it, like, this patient's walking and shit's flying, and you're just calmly walking behind her? Like, no.
Here's my question. If you have Franklin as your little friend, and you know Franklin's going to be pissed off that you're at the dentist, then why bring Franklin to the dentist?
I don't know. Do you have a say in where your demons, like, where they come,
I don't know.
Can you tell, like, your shadow to be like, hey, can you stay home today? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Sorry, Franklin, I gotta go to the dentist.
And we're gonna turn the air on, and I'll turn on your favorite music, and I'll be back in a minute, Franklin, okay? I don't know. But that was a freaky story. And after I read that story, I was like, okay, maybe posting this thread was just a really bad idea. Because I was scared. I'm a wimp. You guys know that I believe in all kinds of weird spiritual shit, right?
Yeah.
But when it comes to like ghosts and spirits and all that stuff, like nah, dog. That's a no for me. Like, I do not want any part of that. I don't want anybody showing up over my bed, nothing like that. Like, don't come in my room, don't haunt my house, don't haunt my dental office.
What somebody had said, and maybe it was you, Liz, or somebody said, what if it was Franklin that hurt her, really, and not her daughter, like she said?
Oh, yeah.
If Franklin's like this violent...
Franklin pushed her and made her break her face.
Yeah. And obviously, he's a pissed off dude, so...
Yeah.
Who knows?
I don't know.
It's creepy. What do you all think?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I believe in that kind of stuff, but that's like some like... That's yeah, I wouldn't watch that if that was a movie.
No.
No.
Yeah.
So, another one was, let's see, this is a much shorter one. I worked in public health setting right out of hygiene school. We saw all kinds of patients. Okay. This kind of falls in the creepy patient category. We had this one guy who was a butcher. Okay. Red flag number 1. And he always wore his white butcher's coat covered in who knows what. And it was disgusting. Red flag number 2. Anyway, he hands me a business card one time and says that he specializes in spells, hexes, and enchantments. And he kept asking if I had anyone like a boyfriend or a husband or an arch enemy that he could put a hex on for me. And he also told all of us girls to save any bones out of meat that we cooked, and he would make us jewelry out of it. How very sweet of him.
Oh, he knows a way to a girl's heart.
He was very creepy, and we all took turns seeing him. So,
yeah. No. When I was like 21, this guy that I was dating, he like really broke my heart. And
where is he?
I kid you not. I know. I went to like the bookstore. I think it was like Barnes and Noble. I don't remember, and got a voodoo doll. And I
remember those.
And I was like so angry with him that I was like, I am going to put a hex on him. He will never be happy.
Do you know where he is now?
Did you do it?
You need it. Like, I was reading the instructions, and I needed like a piece of hair or something. I think like one of his, a personal item of his, and I didn't have anything, so I let it go. I got over it.
Yeah, that's probably better for your karma anyway.
Exactly.
Shit to be following you around.
I guess I have had kind of one creepy thing that, yeah, I totally forgot. So I've lived on this farm for 6 years. Shortly after we moved in, I was taking a nap in the middle of the day. Go figure. And it was the first time I ever experienced sleep paralysis.
Oh, that is creepy. That freaks me out.
Yes, I have never in all my years ever had that happen until we moved here, and it was terrifying. It was like I was awake, but I couldn't move. I couldn't talk. I was trying to scream or move. I was sweating profusely, and I just had this horrible feeling of doom and gloom and danger. And I remember just thinking that if I laid really still, whoever this person was that I felt in my room wouldn't notice me laying there. And I was like trying to get the covers over me to hide, but I couldn't, again, move, and I couldn't talk. And I could see, and I know this sounds so silly, but it was a man walked past my bed into the master bathroom, and he just had on like a fluorescent t-shirt, like fluorescent greenish yellow, and it had like some like local race car like driver, like from the local speedway, like
That's
just
so specific.
Yes, very specific. But I couldn't read like the race car driver, but like, I don't know, I guess I live in a hick town. We have a little speedway, everyone's making t-shirts with their sprint car number, blah, blah, blah. And I don't have no idea how long it lasted, but it felt like forever. And then eventually I was able to break loose. And I just remember breaking loose, screaming, but nothing would come out, even though I could move, sweating, and just being petrified. And it was in the middle of the day.
Oh my God.
And
did you ever see the haunting
of Hill House?
Yeah.
But the other one?
Bent neck lady, I couldn't say it.
Yes.
Where she had sleep paralysis. That, after watching that freaks me out. If that ever happens to me, I'm like, no, I'm never going to sleep again.
Well, after talking to my 21-year-old son, who his room is upstairs, he was, because I was like freaking out, like telling my whole family what was going on. And, of course, they're just looking at me like, okay. But my son was like, oh my God, that happens to me all the time now. What? Since we moved to the farm. His happens like all the time, and he can feel like a evil presence or like a shadow. I just had it happen one other time, again, during the day, taking a nap. And
Don't nap during the day. That's
I know. Well, I felt like I was right on the edge of my bed by the nightstand, and there wasn't some guy walking through in a race car t-shirt. It was like, my son said, like a dark shadow creeping at the edge of my bed, just like it was just waiting on me to roll off or fall off, or my arm to hang over. And again, I couldn't move. I was sweating. I was scared for my life. And I just remember like trying to scream help and trying to move. And again, couldn't move, couldn't speak, but I felt like I was wide awake. And even when I came to and could move, like it wasn't like I just woke up and I'm like, oh man. It was like I finally just broke loose and could sit up in like my right mind. Like I didn't just wake up like it was a dream.
Right.
It was like if the spell finally went away. It was the craziest thing. And it's only happened twice, and I hope it doesn't happen again because it is terrifying. Yeah. So sorry.
A story that's kind of like that from one of our members. She said, while she was in dental hygiene school, she said, I lived in a house with 2 girls. I moved in last and thought I was lucky to get the larger room. One of the girls asked if I had seen or heard the dog yet. And she asked, did one of them get a dog? And she said no. She said there's a reason why I got the large room, but they wouldn't say anything more. Late night, about a month later, I heard a puppy whining and thought it was locked in my room. I got out of bed, looked around, and found nothing. The next day, I asked who had gotten a puppy, and they both looked strange and said nobody had. I heard the puppy for about 2 weeks, and then it sounded like it grew huge. I could feel it breathing on my face in my bed when the lights were out. Then it started growling every night. Then the big-ass dog would climb into bed and stand over me growling. It was extremely hard to move, but when I could turn the lights on, it would quit. And she had a hard time studying and sleeping, and she asked the girls what was going on, and they didn't want to talk about it. And she moved out 4 months after the dog had started growling at her. So that totally sounds like sleep paralysis demon to me.
Yeah, kind of.
Was that dog murdered in that bedroom? Like, why weren't they like, I don't know, that's freaking me out. I don't like that.
Maybe it just needed a treat. Go to bed with some milk bones, lady. Throw it a bone. It's hungry.
That's probably totally how my dogs would haunt me. Just stand over me. Funky breath. Yeah.
Give me treats.
Funky breath in my face. Ew.
Sorry.
That sounds awful. Let's see. What else do we have here? My office is haunted. This is from a ranter. When I first started working there, I would be alone a lot in the mornings, and I would hear people walking upstairs. The office is an old house that was built in the early 1900s. Again, let me remind you that this is what I'm going to be doing tomorrow by myself. Okay. One day I was alone. This one was kind of funny to me. One day I was alone, and I heard the toilet flush and someone walk out of the bathroom, but there was nobody there. And I'm like, do you use the bathroom in the afterlife? Like, if you got some IBS, does that, like, follow you?
I am screwed.
I would hope not. I hope my gas problems don't follow me in the afterlife.
I hate the sound of a toilet flushing. If there's an afterlife and there are damn toilets flushing, that will be my hell.
She said her chair would just move on its own constantly, too. She got the feeling that the ghost haunting the place was an older woman. One day in passing, I said to the other hygienist that had been there for 40 years about the old lady ghost, and she stopped dead in her tracks and asked me how I knew it was a woman. She said that she had seen her and felt her and was around since she had started working there. And we also have an elderly patient, get this, they have an elderly patient that lives in the house that is now that office. And when she was a teen, she felt that same ghost when she lived there.
Oh, Lord. Did anybody, I always feel like if this was happening in my office, I would do some research into, what was going on in this house in, the 1700s. I don't know. Yeah. To find out, all right, who is this, and how do I get rid of her?
Oh, there's plenty of ways to get rid of them. You just got to know the right people.
Sage.
Yeah, that's what everybody was talking about, in the comments. They're like, I'm just running through this thread, just saging this whole thread, just smudging the thread. Yeah. Everybody was like, I'm never sleeping again. I think Lynn fake reported the post. And the reason was, I'm concerned about this post.
Oh, yeah. No, she said, yeah, she did. She was going to report the post for being too spooky.
But that one was especially creepy to me since that lady had lived in that house before it was even a dental office and actually knew the ghosts. They went way back, they were buds. Here's an interesting one. Our office is right next to Stones River Battlefield, which was the battlefield from the Civil War. Part of the battlefield now has a hospital on it. One of our patients is an RN in the hospice wing. When I first met her, I asked if she had any good stories, and she chuckled and said, "You have no idea." And I would have been like, okay, this is over. But no, she probed for more. She told me that she knew exactly 60 minutes before somebody was going to pass because they would smell a campfire. Oh, she said there was a Confederate soldier that roams the hallways of the hospital and pulls patient charts out of the cabinets, and she said that you can even spot him on the security footage. Hello. And they affectionately nicknamed him Tim. Now, I think you should name your spirit something that's a little bit more spicy than Tim, but whatever. She said
I want to know what charts. I'd be like, what charts is he pulling?
I don't know. She said on a Friday night, she went into a patient's room and the patient said, "Nurse, will you tell Tim I can't go with him tonight, but I can go on Monday?" And she said Monday night they smelled a campfire, and an hour later they found that patient deceased.
Jesus Christ.
No way. That gave me chills.
I'm never sleeping again.
So wait, so Tim was talking
in a place like this. I no.
So Tim was talking to the patient, and the patient could hear, like a medium.
Well, so
I wonder if that's the chart he was pulling out.
I've heard from hospice nurses that a couple days before somebody passes, that they start talking to people who aren't there.
Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah, but isn't that just the drugs, the heavy drugs they put you on?
Could be.
And it could be. And maybe those drugs, like, lower your, I don't know, earthly,
or they just give you a high and you're hallucinating.
Your earthly aura. I don't know.
Yeah, something like, just like your earthly, which you're bound with. Like,
can you tell, Liz,
on the veil,
I'm like the total opposite of you. Like, I have, like, no spiritual... like, I don't know. I'm not in tune with my body. There's no way I'm in tune with spirits. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. If Franklin happened to me, my ass would be in church every day. From that point forward, I'd be like, Jesus, please help me. Like, I would turn into like a really good Catholic.
No, it's the Catholics on all the horror movies.
Don't want me to like make me go to church. Don't do that.
It's like the exorcism and all those. Aren't those like the Catholic Church and the?
Yes.
Those are all the horror movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, but the Catholic Church, what do you call it?
It's creepy sometimes if you think about it.
Exorcism.
Like the
spirit.
Yeah, but did you see all the stuff that happens before that?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm not saying Catholic people are creepy or the churches are creepy.
No,
I mean like the history of the horror movies and the Catholic people and the priests and the...
Right.
The priests are the ones that come in when there is an exorcism that needs to be done, basically.
Right.
So listen, like, you can call a Catholic priest to come in, like, back in the, like, 1500s, 1600s, whatever, and do an exorcism, right? But if you call a witch to come in and do the same thing, she gets burned at the stake, just saying. No, anyway, moving on. There were a lot of stories about dentists who had died in the deficit.
Jeez,
and I want to tell you that's actually kind of a fear of mine, is dying in the dental office, because if I am stuck in a dental office for all of eternity, I am going to be so pissed off.
I was going to say that. You can bet your ass I'll be haunting you.
That's why I would fucking haunt everybody.
Yeah. The haunting I will enact upon those people is going to be like some Franklin level shit. I will be the ragiest fucking ghost if I am stuck in a dental office for all of eternity. That's all I have to say about that. I'd be really pissed off. No, but seriously, like, if you were a ghost in a dental office, what would you do?
What? A ghost in a dental office?
What would you do if you were a ghost? If you had to haunt a dental office for the rest of your life, what would you do?
Oh man, this is hard.
Suck on the nitrous. Get really high and walk around and just fuck with people.
Flush the toilet.
Oh God, no.
I would probably like make drills go when no one's pressing the rheostat.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
I'd be helping my people out. I'd be like,
you know what I think I would do? Here's what I think I would do. I want to say that I would be a really pissed off ghost, and I would be, but I would like fuck with the dentist, but I would do shit that would like make the hygienist jobs easier. Like, oh, you guys are having a hard day and you don't want to work? Well, I'll just break the compressor and y'all can go home.
Yes!
I'll have to pay for it. That's the kind of ghost I would be. I would be a petty fucking ghost.
I would just be like helping my people out. I'd be like, oh, I think the server just went down. Sorry, can't get any charts, can't do x-rays, everyone go home.
Yep.
Or,
exactly.
Power went out. Sorry, you get to leave today. I try to be cool.
Yeah, I want to be a cool ghost. After I get off my initial, like, pissed offness.
Yeah.
I just don't want to be a ghost. I just want to, like, I don't know. Did you ever see What Dreams May Come?
Yes. Well, okay. Yeah, but it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me too. But that's kind of what I want that to be like. I don't know, like whatever I want it to be, and it's not going to be a fucking dental office.
Oh my gosh.
Like I don't want to haunt anybody. I just kind of want to like live in like a pasture with like animals and puppies and flowers and butterflies.
That is totally not how I picture you, Anna. I mean, with the animals, yeah.
You forgot, and there's going to be booze and
alcohol and
yeah, all the fun stuff.
Sexy men. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. There's going to be nightly drag shows. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be great. Let's see. My first dental assisting job was haunted. An old doctor that owned the place died in his office. Again, here we are. Right? We're stuck in our jobs forever. That sounds just like that's hell. That has to be hell. He took a nap and he never woke up. Can you imagine like explaining that to his next patient?
I'm sorry, the dentist died. He's dead.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Why am I laughing?
I know it is. It's awful.
I'm sorry, the dentist died.
I mean, how do you, like, anyway, so she says, I was told that the old guy was a prankster, but he was harmless, and there were paper charts only.
Look at Anna. God, we need a visual. We need live podcasts, because we would, oh, yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, nobody wants to see this wreck. Nobody, no. I know that, like, some of the podcasters will do, like, the live on-air podcast where they can see each other, and no, nobody.
That requires makeup. I'm not good with that.
Yeah, no.
Whatever. We're funny.
Anyway, she said she would look for the paper charts and she couldn't find it. So she used to ask Dr. So-and-so to stop playing and give her the chart. And within a few minutes, the chart would be hanging out. He used to cut off the lights in the lab, but the door was open, so she didn't mind. She would just tell him to stop playing around with her and leave the lights alone. But one evening, he cut off the lights and she couldn't get out of the lab. And that was her last day working there.
Yeah. Bye.
Yep, I'm gone. Nope. You
so
crossed the line, Doctor.
There's all
Dr.
these
so-and-so.
like ghosty stories. Didn't we have some like medium type stories? Like
yeah.
Sorry, am I throwing you off? Because I know you prepped for this and I didn't. But
no, that's fine. I do have plenty of those. Let's see.
Because I just happened to like go by like Kathy, and she was like a person predicted my dad's death precisely.
Yeah.
And that's all she said.
There's another one. I know, and I asked a lot of these people to expand so we could have like a story, but they were just like little one-liners, and I'm like, that's not.
Sometimes that's even more creepy.
There was one that said that there was an office that she worked at twice a month, and she was just kind of shooting the shit with the patient, and the patient says, I apologize, I don't mean to freak you out, but I'm a medium, and there's an older woman who the poster believed was her grandmother or great-grandmother or something that she was very close to, who was around her and was persistent on telling the medium to tell her how proud that she was of her and that her husband loves her so much. And then she lowers her voice and asks if I'm pregnant. And she had literally just found out the weekend before, and only her husband knew. So they hadn't even told anybody that they were pregnant yet, and the medium told her that she was pregnant.
So these are the stories I like more than probably the ghost stories.
Yeah.
Is the people that can, like, the mediums.
Do you believe in that? Do you believe that people can talk to people from the other side?
I don't.
No?
I don't know.
No, only because I've never had a good experience. I've gone to, like, New York City, you know, has these mediums that are, like, world-renowned that everybody talks about and everybody goes to, and everybody's got, like, oh, my God, and told me this, this, and this, and then I go and pay whatever, it's an exorbitant amount of money, and I didn't feel like I got a good reading. So I was like, I think the reason why is because I just have never experienced a good reading, like, by anyone who people talk about and say is so great. I go and I'm like, yeah, that's not impressive, and I'm not impressed, so I don't know.
I feel like it's something that you can't force. I think it's random and
blockers up, and I'm
casual.
just a hard person to read.
Yeah.
Maybe? I don't know. Yeah.
I mean, up until recently, unfortunately, I've not, lost anyone or, had that experience. So I guess I would just never, for me, I wouldn't have anything to read really until recently. Yeah. So, now that I've lost a loved one and it's horrific, I think that would be awesome if that really was a thing. But like you said, I feel like it has to be casual and not forced, and maybe just have to be in the right mood.
Ashley had one, and I thought that I had put Ashley's another admin for the people listening that aren't familiar with Rant, but Ashley is one of our admins, and she's really into spiritual stuff like me, and she had a medium tell her some things about somebody who had passed that was around her, and then also something about a knee injury. She said, there's something wrong with your knee, and she ended up, being right because there was something wrong with Ashley's knee. And I can't remember the rest of the story, and I apologize, Ashley. I thought that I had included this in my notes, but I don't think I pasted it.
Was there one about her great aunt?
Maybe.
So she said she was really close to her great aunt, and she was in the 3rd grade, and her aunt was sick with bone cancer. And her family knew she was going to pass. Her mom, her brother, who was like 4 at the time, and her grandmother went to go be with her when she passed. Her father was overseas, and she was really upset that she couldn't go. Sorry, her family went, but she had to stay behind because they told her she couldn't miss school. So she had to stay with a family friend. And her aunt passed, and she was still very upset that she couldn't see her. And she remembers laying in her bed, and that the sun was just coming up, and she had an old rocking chair in her room, and she thought it was like, an old family, like, passed down, and she looks, and her aunt was sitting in it, and she knew it was her, because her hair was...
read this one.
Because her hair was done up in a bun, like it always was, and she wasn't, like, completely see-through, but, like, a faded color, like an old photo. But Ashley said she wasn't scared at all, and that her aunt smiled at her and looked out the door of her room and into her parents' room across the hall. And Ashley said she just remembers rolling over and went back to sleep. And she said she'll never forget that she thought about strawberry bubblegum at that time. And that she woke up and remembered telling her mom, and she was like, I don't doubt that you did see her. So her mom was, like, supportive, so that's kind of cool.
I wonder what the strawberry bubblegum thing was, though. I wonder if that had any relevance.
Yeah, she didn't explain that. Maybe her aunt chewed strawberry bubblegum. Ashley, come on now. You can't just throw in a random, detail about strawberry bubblegum and leave us hanging.
So I feel like, for the people who don't or aren't sure about the afterlife, or aren't sure if people can talk to spirits, or if spirits are around us. I had a patient that, and this was very recently, it was the same patient, I don't know if you guys read this, and I'm sure this will show up in another podcast, about the lady, the 85-year-old, she was a very feisty lady, and she was talking about how her husband and her met, and he was in the Navy, and he was, and she used the term that he was very horny. Navy guy. Okay. So she was talking about, like, her horny husband and things like that. And I said, well, it was love at first sight for him, was not so much for her. I said, well, how did you finally figure out what was love? And she said, honestly, I'm still not sure. They've been married for over 60 years. So anyway, she was just a really interesting lady. I mean, she was hilarious. Absolutely. And I was warned beforehand that she was a character. So anyway, at the beginning of the appointment, I laid her back, and, I was doing her perio charting, and she just stopped me in the middle, and she just kind of blurted out in the middle of the appointment that she had died. She said, I died once. And I said, sorry? What? What?
Not in my chair, lady. Come on.
Here, right? Because...
Yeah, I was like, excuse me? That wasn't on your medical history, but patient is deceased. But she said that she had died. And she was in her kitchen, she was having coffee with a friend, and she had collapsed. Okay, so she had an aortic aneurysm.
Ooh.
Is what she ended up having, which I guess, I've heard that you don't really survive those very often.
Doesn't sound like something?
Yeah. So she collapsed. She said that when she collapsed, she floated to the ceiling and watched her friend call 911 and was frantically trying to revive her. She watched the first responders come to get her, and I asked her if she was scared or sad or anything as this was happening, and she was observing, and she said she wasn't scared at all, and she was completely at peace. And the ambulance took her away, so I asked her if she followed the ambulance to the hospital, and she said that as soon as her earthly body left the kitchen, that she was kind of whisked away to another place. And she said there was no bright light at the tunnel or anything for her, but she felt just this tremendous amount of peace and love. And I asked her if she saw loved ones that had been lost, throughout her life, and she said that she couldn't. There wasn't a specific person, but there was like a familiarity surrounding her, as if being in the presence of loved ones that she knew and other people like her friends and family that she knew, but she couldn't pick out specific people, just like the energy of people that she knew who loved her.
Yeah, I've heard like shadows, is something that they see. They see shadows and they feel like that familiarity, but not like specific faces.
Right. And so she said the next thing she knew that it was time to go back to her body. And so I asked her if she was given a choice, if she wanted to stay where she was or if she wanted to go back to her earthly body. And she said that she wasn't given a choice. She said that she had to go back, but she didn't feel disappointment one way or the other. Like, she didn't feel disappointment that she had to go back, and she didn't feel disappointment if they would have told her that she had to stay. But she said that she was told, or kind of sensed, she wasn't told in words, but she sensed that she had to go back because she still had something to do. And she said, I'm 85 years old, and I still have no idea what specific act I was sent back to do, but I think about it every day. And I wonder if once I complete that act, how soon after I will die. And she said she said, I'm not scared to die based on my previous experience. The thought of dying now based on that experience just brings her a sense of peace.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I know.
That's heavy.
Dental appointment, right?
Yeah.
I had chills, like literal chills, like up and down my spine, goosebumps the entire time she was telling me this. It was just so matter of fact.
Oh my god, that's so weird.
She goes on to tell me, and then she goes on to tell me about her horny husband and how he's, almost 90, and he goes and plays golf, and she put golf in, air quotes, and I said, you think that he's playing around on you? And she goes, come on, honey, no one likes golf that much.
Wow. 90? God bless.
I know.
That is so cute.
I know. She was a character. I cannot wait to see her again. I want to see what other kind of stories that she had. But her this near-death experience story she had, I thought, was pretty sweet. Yeah. So I think it makes people a little less afraid, the more they hear stories about that, it's not scary and it's very peaceful and welcoming, and maybe even gives peace to people who lose somebody very tragically, that they know that maybe they didn't suffer, and that they were at peace. So anyway, we're at 45 minutes. I think that
yikes.
That's a good place to end because it wasn't very scary.
Sweet,
after all. So looking forward to November. What do we have going on?
New York City. Oh, I don't know.
I think we're going to do dental hygiene hacks.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll be good.
Yeah, we'll talk about things that we do in the op that have helped us tremendously that not everybody may know.
Yeah, saves us time. I know that's been a big, big help for me in Rant, is people just sharing the tips and tricks that they do to get them through the day. So hopefully that'll help others. And then we have something else really big going on in November, but I can't really remember what it is.
Really?
Yeah, something. I don't know. Oh, yeah, we're going to meet Anna.
Yeah! we're going to New York City.
We're going to New York City.
I just completely forgot. Not that I didn't forget that you guys were coming. I just forgot that November, I don't know. Forget it.
So Liz and I are going to hop on a jet plane and blow this popsicle stand and head to another probably popsicle stand because it'll be cold.
Yeah. It's gonna be freezing.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Montana's coming with us, she's another admin. So we get to meet Montana, and we get to meet Anna.
And I can't wait.
Andrew.
And Andrew.
Oh, yes. And a bunch of people. I think lots of people.
Mm-hmm.
Spring and...
Spring. Mm-hmm.
Allie.
Tesha.
Yes.
Is going to be there.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yesterday
Yay.
She was going to be there.
Yes.
So there will be a lot of
ranters lots of
there.
people.
And ranters, if you're thinking about going to the Greater New York Dental Meeting.
Yeah, it's called Greater New York Dental Meeting. Yeah, the Jacob Javits Center.
Yeah, you can totally tell that we're so going to show up to this meeting because we don't even know what it's called. I just know we're going to be there at the butt crack of dawn, I think, on Black Friday. So hopefully they have some good sales in New York.
Nah.
Yeah, right. I'll be too tired.
I know. But yeah, so I'm looking forward to meeting some of these ranters that are just kind of faces.
Yes. If you're thinking about going, go. Hit us up, DM us, PM us. Yeah. Shout out.
Sure, when you see Anna, that you hug her really hard.
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes, I cannot wait to hug Anna so tight. I'm gonna
be like, there.
She's just gonna freeze, and it's gonna be so awkward, and I'm gonna love every second of the awkwardness. I'm gonna make her just, be uncomfortable, because I am a hugger. Anna is like a cactus.
Yes. Don't touch me!
Yeah, you're prickly on the outside, but you're soft and sweet on the inside.
Sometimes.
All right,
and
friends.
If you want to sign us off?
I'll sign us off. Thanks for listening, everyone. Be sure to come join us in the group and on Instagram. If you are already in the group and you see something that you think we should feature on the next podcast, be sure to send one of us a PM and we will do our best to get it on the show. Time for us to sign off. Time for you to floss off. Love, peace, and brush your teeth. Bye.
Bye.
See ya later.